Hello everybody and welcome to our album rescue project. And I'll be honest, I just had the Zoom call and I got off the Zoom call and I forgot to record everything. So I am going to hodgepodge this together based on stuff that I've already cut, but show you pretty much what I had planned today. And the first thing that I wanted to talk about is the whole purpose that we're doing this for is to rescue our albums. And so you all know that this was my 2004 album and I have a bunch of miscellaneous pages where I found pictures that needed to be cropped. And so I had a couple weeks ago put an album tracker out for everybody to pick an album, go through their album and write everything that needs to be completed on their album. Well, I liked this tracker so much that I actually have gone ahead and I have done it with a second album, which is my 2018 Hawaii Vacation album. And I've already started working on it and crossing things off in that album. That album is new and it's a lot more fun. But this is the old one that's almost done with little bits. And so I went ahead and wrote everything down and I have picked one set of pictures that we're going to work on tonight. So the pictures that I chose to work on are old pictures from when we took James to his very first Broadway show. We took him to see Barney and I had these pictures. They needed to be cropped. And so I found this sketch and the sketch calls for 2 base pages. It calls for 1 cardstock page, which in this case, I found this Barney colored purple and it's got like little circles that look like scales. So I'm going to use that for my cardstock. And then we needed 1 piece of paper where we liked both sides. And so I have chose this paper of how I'm going to put this together. Now, I've already cut my paper because we did that a little while ago. So I'm going to show you how you're going to cut your paper using this as an example. And this is a very simple cut and you're going to do this with both your cardstock piece. So in my case, I did it with my purple piece and then with your designer sheet, which is this paper that I chose. So you'll have 2 pieces of paper that you need to do this with. So the first cut that you're going to make is at 2.5 inches. So you cut that at 2.5 inches, put it to the side. Then you're going to rotate your page and you're going to cut it at 1.5 inches. Then you're going to have a second piece at 1.5 inches. And then the last piece you're going to cut in half. So that's going to end up being 4.5 inches each. So you'll end up with 5 pieces of paper for each of your 2 pieces, 5 different segments of each of your 2 pages. Okay, so pretend like we just did that with my purple. Here it is, my purple. And the extra 2 1-inch pieces of the purple, which I have right here, are scrap. So you can use these for other things. So your cardstock, the 2 small pieces, move them to the side. You only need these big 3. And then for your designer sheet of paper, you're going to have the little pieces. So you'll end up with 5 pieces like that. You have 2.5 inches. You rotate it, 1.5, 1.5, 4.5, 4.5. That's what you need. All right, let me move these to the side and let me bring in my mats. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my paper. This is my base pages that I'm choosing. And then we're going to take all of these 4.5 by 9.5 inch squares. And we're going to put 2 on one side and 2 on the other side. And then we're going to put our long one here. And then these are gonna go right in the middle. So this is our basic design, okay? And I'm just gonna go ahead and adhere these. I chose these papers because I thought that they worked well with my Barney. So part of this album rescue that we're doing is we are trying to complete albums that we've started, older albums, older pictures, use old cardstock. That's what this purple is. I can't even tell you where it came from. This is the Emerald Gemstone paper. I don't even remember when that came out. It's old paper, old paper. And that's kind of what Throwback Thursday and this art album rescue is all about. It's using the old product, getting it off our shelves and into our albums. All right, that is our design. And now it's just a matter of placing our pictures. There we have it. So cute. I can't believe he was itty bitty. He was just turned 4 in these pictures. Actually, no, he was 3 in these pictures because it was January of 2004 and James didn't turn 4 until the end of the year. So he was only 3 in these pictures. And he loved Barney. Oh my gosh. Loved Barney. He had, this one's gonna go on the top. He had this little Barney doll. I don't even know where he got it from. And he took it with him everywhere. Until Lion King came out, and then he was all about Nala and Simba. Now, in my case, most of my pictures were horizontal, but obviously if you had vertical, you could line the verticals up going across. I just have this one vertical, and I could have, anyway, I didn't want to cut Fred. Fred's in the top of this, and I didn't want to cut him out of the picture, so I'm going to keep this one long one. So have you guys decided what albums you're going to work on? I'm interested to know. Post down below and tell me what you're going to be working on. All right, there's my layout. Now I did go through and I made some embellishments. And I made these cute little, I don't know, those of you who had kids around my age when it was a big deal, but this is what's going across here. Anyway, this is what it's going to look like. I have some little polka dots. Put that on there. All right, so that's what we're looking at for my quick and easy, get it in the album. Like I told you, this is going to be a peekaboo, so I will have my journaling on the underside of here, and that is going to be my first album going into my album rescue project. So again, it was one designer sheet of paper and that you like both sides and a cardstock. You cut it at 2.5 inches, you rotate it, cut it at 1.5 twice, and then cut it at 4.5. So it's 2.5, 1.5, 1.5, 4.5. And there you have it. It's just a quick, fun, very versatile. You can use it with any kind of layout. It's great. So if you post a rescue layout below, I will give you an extra raffle drawing in our monthly challenge. So there you have it, everybody. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you next Thursday. All right, bye.